Are you going into your second year of beekeeping and looking for some advice on when to add some pollen substitute? In today's video, I want to discuss some of the risk involved with feeding pollen substitute too early and discuss when I think is a good time to go ahead and start offering pollen patties to our bees. So first, let's discuss pollen patties and winter patties, and let me tell you the difference. Winter patties are made to be fed in cold climate or during the winter. They're mostly carbohydrates, in which case bees use them to keep their energy going throughout the winter. As for pollen patties, they contain protein, and the bees use that protein to raise brood, which can be dangerous when we're still battling cold temperatures. And the reason for that is, as we get warm weather like we're experiencing now, for days on end, the maple trees and some of the early blooming trees begin to produce or open up and produce pollen. And then the bees find these trees, they start harvesting some of this pollen. The queen notices the increase of protein coming into the colony, and she starts to lay eggs. And then, let's say a few days later, we get a cold snap and we're back in the 30s. The bees need to be able to cover that brood and keep it warm. Otherwise, it was a waste of time and resources. So they'll spread out and cover that brood, and they will not leave it. And a lot of times what will happen if you get several frames of brood is there's not enough bees to cluster together to keep warm, and the colony ends up dying. So to force the colony to go broody too soon via a pollen patty could be a bad thing. It's almost the end of February. Usually I'm not offering pollen patties and feeling secure about it until the bees are finding protein on their own, in which this case the maple trees are starting to bust open, so the bees are harvesting pollen on their own. So to go by that rule of thumb, then I guess it would be safe to provide pollen patties. Now, my recommendation there is to only give them small chunks. Maybe cut it down inch by 3 inch, or just a small sliver of pollen patty. Stick it in the colony, see how the bees respond over a few days, and in a few days when you check back, if the pollen patty is still there, I wouldn't offer any more. And I may even think twice about removing that section of pollen patty. So if you're not seeing any sources of pollen come back on the bees' legs and their pollen baskets, then I would completely hold off on offering any sort of pollen patty, and I would keep supplementing with either winter patties, the Hive Alive fondant patty, or your own fondant patties, candy boards, the mountain camp method. A lot of these things I mentioned can be found, or topics I've done videos on, and you can find them on my channel. There's a search bar there. You go in and you type in mountain camp. You're going to pull up all my mountain camp videos. So that's an idea if you need to fall back on one of those methods. Earlier in the week I made a post about using QR codes in my videos, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that today and tell you why I think that's going to make it handy for some people, but not necessarily everybody will be able to use them. First of all, how many of you have ever watched YouTube videos on your television? Anymore, smart TVs are like everywhere, so if you have one of these smart TVs and you have the YouTube app, you can go over on YouTube. You can even sync your videos or your phone to YouTube with your TV and send video that you're watching from your phone over to your TV, which is a pretty neat little feature. But one thing discouraging about using the TV is when somebody says, go down in the video description, and that's where you'll find the link for whatever it may be. Because if you try and get down to the description using your TV remote, by the time you actually get there, you're about ready to throw the remote because it's just a pain in the butt to access the description. So my thought was, by pulling these QR codes up on my videos right here on the screen, it would make it easier for people using TV to view my videos to access these links. For instance, today I mentioned Pollen Patties, and I am an affiliate for Hive Alive. So of course, let's just go ahead and bring in a Hive Alive QR code here that I'm talking about. And you can see all the information right there. Basically what you're going to do, if you're viewing this on a television, you're going to pull out your phone, you're going to open your camera app, and you're going to point it at your TV. Your phone is going to recognize that QR code as a website, and it's going to give you the option to click on it and go directly there. Now, I'm trying to set this up so that my affiliate discount code is already applied, but you might want to double check before you actually click to check out that for, well, let's say this one here, Hive Alive, that Jason 10 is applied in that code area before you make your purchase, and that'll get you 10% off Hive Alive. And besides the pollen patties, they make great fondant patties. I can't speak highly enough about those fondant patties, folks. You've heard me talk about them for 2 winters now, and they've been wonderful for my bees. So you'll start to see these QR codes pop up in my videos. And it's not really going to be beneficial for anybody that's watching it on a phone, because you can't watch on a phone and get the QR code to pull up a link. It just doesn't work that way. If there was some kind of way I could simplify trying to get down in the description, I would surely do it. But it's not an option right now. Maybe someday something a little easier will come along. So I'd love to hear your feedback on this new QR code idea and your thoughts there. I'm going to leave you today with a little surprise package I got. I did a little video clip of me opening it and seeing what was in the package. Go ahead and throw out a thank you here to Johnny. Much appreciated, brother. And that's about it for this week, folks. I'm going to leave you with a couple more QR codes, and then we'll see you next week, folks. Take care, and remember, questions or comments, leave them down below. You enjoyed the video, smash the thumbs up. Thanks. So I got a little message last night from a friend down south, Johnny Murdoch. Never met the fellow, but he sent me quite a bit of his shirts. Seems to be a real good dude. We're friends on Facebook. But the message last night said, you're going to get a little surprise tomorrow. It's from me, well, and kind of Dirt Rooster. So here we go. We're going to open it up and see what's in this package. The Way of Life, 628 Dirt Rooster. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool shirt. See Ladybug? Come here and look. Come here. The Ladybug wants to see it too. Okay, Ladybug's out. Moose wants to see it. All right, get down. That's it. The show's over.